What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, check this out. Let's talk a little bit of Zack Snyder right now because I find these comments that he's making absolutely hilarious for several reasons. Number one, it's probably the most ill-timed comment ever, for a director to make. You want to talk about bad timing to come out and start talking about superhero fatigue, all right? Superhero fatigue. First of all, bro, you started the DCEU. They called it the Snyderverse. This is your baby. And it led to a lot of the superhero fatigue that you're commenting on right now, and he's doing this on the heels of Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon, which is absolutely getting destroyed all across the internet. Yeah, you can see right here, Rebel Moon with a 25% on the tomato meter from the critics. And then an audience score of 63%. That's not a good audience score, by the way, folks. Even though you got a little bucket of popcorn. I mean, this thing is about 4 or 5 percentage points from turning into a rotten bucket of popcorn. Okay? So, I mean, you got to really sit back and wonder, like, Zach, what are you talking about? You just made what most are calling an absolutely horrible movie, and you want to comment on some superhero fatigue? Something that you actually had a hand in? It might be your fault that there's superhero fatigue if you want to talk about it. It's hilarious. And then he said this. Yeah, I'm not knocking on James Gunn's door. Are you kidding me? Bro, this cat is delusional. Zach, if you were knocking on James Gunn's door, yeah, I want to get a DC movie. James Gunn would treat you like a Jehovah's Witness. Hey, who's that coming up the walk? Oh, damn, that's Zach. Hey, everybody, get down. Hey, shut up. Keep your heads down.
Hey, James, are you in?
He gonna pass.
Hey, James, it's Zach. Hey, James, I got a new script.
Don't y'all say nothing. Shut up.
Are you in, buddy?
Say nothing. All right, he gone. Whew, man, that was close. Hey, you ever see that dude come out? Just don't even answer the door, okay? Keep the door closed, pull the curtains, okay? That's how you do it. Hey, I ain't messing with you, Zach. What are you talking about, man? James Gunn will be like, man, get the dogs on him. Then you ain't gonna make it to James Gunn's door. He gonna have the dogs and junk. Sick him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's hilarious, man. Let's go ahead and check out this article real quick, though. With so many DC and Marvel movies underperforming at the box office, it's getting more difficult to dismiss the notion of superhero fatigue. Audiences certainly appear to be growing tired with the usual comic book movie formula, and it seems we can count one well-known filmmaker among them. Well, here's the problem again. They say it right here. It's the movie formula. You know how they always talked about the Marvel formula, like the Marvel formula was just going to crank out billion-dollar hit after billion-dollar hit, and then people get sick and tired of that because it's just the same old. If there's fatigue, if there's superhero fatigue, that's what it is. The fatigue is coming from this damn formula. Instead of actual original creators doing something original, unique, that's putting that out into the marketplace, no, they just want to run a formula at you. And again, you get sick and tired of it. Maybe the first few times that formula works, but after about, I don't know how many Marvel had, 33 films? And there were 16 in the DC universe, and along with all the other superhero content that's popping up at random. I mean, come on, man. There's no way in the world you can keep running a similar type of formula and expect people to just keep showing up for that. People get sick and tired of it. So yeah, you got to come with something unique and different. You got to be original. You got to be creative. That's what the comic book movie and superhero movies need. They need creativity, not just the same old crap, So yeah, I mean, they kind of explain it right there. But nevertheless, here's what Zack Snyder had to say. The Atlantic published a new piece on Justice League and Rebel Moon director Zack Snyder, and the divisive filmmaker was asked about the current state of the superhero genre. I have the same fatigue, Snyder responded, describing comic book adaptations as a cul-de-sac, which are no longer capable of telling self-contained stories. No one thinks they're going to a one-off superhero movie. Well, somebody's got to make it. Somebody's got to build that out. And you can blame all of these big corporations for saying, hey, we don't want to just make a one-off superhero movie. We want to connect this to some giant cinematic universe. Again, that's your corporation's fault. It's not our fault as fans, okay? It's not our fault that we think this. This is what you guys in your corporate, these studios are presenting to the fan base. So what do you expect the fans to feel? They're only reacting to what you've been giving us. Make a one-off film. Batman is kind of a one-off film, but then what did they immediately try to do with Batman? They made the Batman, the Robert Pattinson, and then what did they try to do? Go ahead, Matt Reeves, create a Penguin series, create a Gotham PD series, or what? Not Gotham PD, Arkham Asylum. Yeah, create these connective tissue series so it's not just a one-off superhero movie. You know, it can't just be that plus a sequel or whatever, and that's it. No, they don't want to do that. So yeah, again, no one thinks they're going to a one-off superhero movie because that's not what you guys are doing out there in Hollywood. Give us a one-off superhero movie. Hey, we're just doing this, and that's it. And we're not doing anything else, and then maybe you'll change the game. That's how it works. Snyder, who kickstarted what came to be known as the DCEU with Man of Steel before going on to helm 2 more films in the franchise, recently said he would return to finish his saga if Netflix held the rights, but it doesn't sound like he's in any rush to revisit the DC character. Look, don't get it twisted, okay? I enjoyed Man of Steel. I enjoyed BVS Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Cut. I like the Ultimate Cut, and I like the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I thought those are 3 really good superhero movies. You know, I enjoyed them all. But at the same time, it's like the DCEU overall, it needed some help. It needed some help. I think Zack needed somebody to come in there and kind of help him along. You know, hey, let's get some of these ideas that you have. Let's, concise them, make them more concise. Let's get some better writing. And let's kind of help you out, shaping this thing into what could be a really, really good universe. I thought Zack was on the right track, but I thought, again, he helped write I think Wonder Woman or maybe Wonder Woman 84. I'm not sure. But he was a part of those 2 films. And like one was good, one was terrible. So to me, it was like Zack was already off base with some of the stuff that he was thinking. And then just the fact that he put out that first Batman versus Superman, I didn't like that one at all. It took the Ultimate Cut to bring me aboard. And I know that the Justice League, that the theatrical Justice League wasn't altogether his fault, but they changed a lot of it. Because who wants to sit up and watch a 4-hour film? Like, it's like that kind of stuff Zack Snyder is not good at. His storytelling, when it came to Justice League and all of these films, I thought it was okay. But, you got to refine this, baby. You can't keep trying to do part 1, part 2. Like Rebel Moon again. Like, this issue with Rebel Moon proves what the problem is with Zack Snyder. Yeah, so this article on the Direct, Rebel Moon actor reveals one big problem with the PG-13 cut now on Netflix. So there's this whole issue with this rated R 3-hour cut of Rebel Moon. And instead of giving us the actual version of the movie, the movie that, he created, they give us a neutered, nerfed version of the film that nobody likes. And it's like, Zack, what's going on here? This feels like bait and switch, bro. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and show you this little cheap version. But now you guys got to really go out and watch that rated R version. Like, how many people are going to want to watch that? I don't know if anybody wants to see this next version or part 2. You should have given us your best foot forward off rip. Your best foot forward off rip. If the 3-hour version is the one, I'll get to it. It's Ed Screen's comments. Let me get to that. Yeah, why fans need to watch Rebel Moon's R-rated cut. In an interview with the movie podcast, Rebel Moon actor Ed Screen, who portrayed the villainous Atticus Noble in the film, was asked about his character's ruthlessness. Screen began by stating that his character in the sci-fi epic does not have any fluffy edges and that he and writer-director Zack Snyder set out to create a character who is not TV-friendly. I don't think I've ever gone this far, Zack didn't want any of the fluffy edges. He didn't write it with any soft edges. This is like, we're really going to show you what the enemy looks like, and we're not going to make this TV-friendly. The Atticus Noble actor then teased that the upcoming R-rated version of Rebel Moon Part 1 will showcase his character in a more brutal manner, saying that it will be as if his past antagonist roles were on steroids and turned up to level 3000. Even in the PG-13 cut, it's brutal, and you're really going to get to know Atticus Noble and what he's really like in the R-rated version. See, that's the problem, my guy. Why are we only getting to know what he's really like in the R-rated versions? This is a character in your PG-13 film. We should get to know that character. We should know who he really is in the PG-13, in the first version of this. I understand a director's cut, but usually the director's cut comes on the heels of a very successful movie that everybody liked just for what it was. Like, I remember the Aliens director's cut or the extended cut. I'm not sure it's director's or extended, whatever it is, from James Cameron. The extended cut, it just adds a lot more. It gives you more of the Marines and some of their banter and back and forth. It gives you some more information about the colonists. It gives you like this long extended scene where they had these like automatic machine guns just gunning down aliens, and it's really cool. Okay. That adds more coolness to what was already a great movie. So I want to go and pick up, oh, this is an extended version? Hell, give me more. That's the way this thing works, Zach. It's not, well, we nerfed this movie down to nothing, but now in order for you to see what a character is really like, oh, you got to go watch the R-rated version. That's bait and switch bullshit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Again, I don't have a problem with Zack Snyder's longer extended versions like the Ultimate Cut for BVS, Dawn of Justice. I enjoy it. But at the same time, it's like, why didn't we get this in the theaters? Well, because it's like a 3-hour movie or whatever. Okay, well, then you need to learn how to make movies that ain't 3 or 4 hours long, Zach. Because that's basically what I feel Rebel Moon is. You got a part 1 and a part 2, and the entire movie is probably a movie as a whole. He shot the whole thing together. But it's like, well, wait a minute. Why are we getting this in 2 parts? Why can't you tell a complete story in the first part? The first part was completely disjointed, and it did nothing for the characters. I know nothing about any of these characters. We meet these characters, this General Titus, and everybody's talking about what a badass he is and this and that. And then this guy doesn't do any generaling. He's not a general. At that point, what should have happened with General Titus, it's an aside, but I got to get this out. What should have happened with General Titus is that General Titus, as soon as they rescue him, he takes over the entire mission. All right, here we go. We're going to do this. He's showing like his general abilities, his abilities as a leader, as a schemer, a strategist, or whatever. You got to show that stuff, Zach. He literally is just sitting on the ship like every other member of the crew. While the chick is still Cora or whatever, and Charlie Hunnam are the main people doing everything. It was dumb. That cat should have been planning, hey, here's how we're going to break out this next person. Oh, it's going to be hard to get this next guy out. All right, I got the plan on how to get this guy out. Like, that's what he should have been doing with that character. This is the problem, Zach, is that you don't have, like, a firm idea of how to tell a story in a concise manner while also giving us good character development. And so all of this kind of stuff that he's doing with Rebel Moon, and then for him to sit back and talk about, yeah, let's get back to the superhero fatigue stuff. Like he's saying, I'm not knocking on James Gunn's door going like, bro, shoot me one of these sweet movies. James Gunn wants nothing to do with you. After watching Rebel Moon, a lot of people are like, Zack Snyder's a hack. Hack Snyder is what they're saying. And again, I defend it because of his Snyderverse, because I like the Snyderverse. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, I can't let this one go. You got to do better than this, Now, what he says here is true. The Holy Grail is some original IP that you create that has resonance and is cool. That is true. We need more original IP coming out of Hollywood. Original ideas, creative ideas. Robert Meyer Burnett had put this tweet up. Yeah, he had said, for fuck's sake, the Wall Street business model for artistic entertainment does not work. How many hundreds of millions of dollars do these idiots have to lose before realizing a $17 million smile grossed over $200 million? Make 20 of those instead of one Captain Marvel. I agreed. Imagine how much better entertainment would be if studios invested $200 million into making 10 brand new original IPs at $20 million each instead of just betting it all on one box office bomb. 100% what Robert Meyer Burnett pretty much just said. We got to get more originality. So I don't disagree with Zack Snyder when it comes to, we need more original IPs. That's really what all of these studios should be trying to promote and look for. But instead, they keep doubling down and tripling down on this stuff. And then they say, oh, well, there's superhero fatigue. Well, it's like, you guys are the ones that are not taking a chance on some original IP, trying to find those nuggets that are out there in the writing, marketplace. And then Zack Snyder just co-signs on it. I have the same fatigue. You're doing the same crap. You made a Star Wars ripoff. You're ripping off Star Wars. Not to say that, other people didn't rip off Star Wars, but you ripped off Star Wars and you didn't even do it well. You gave us nothing but a bunch of generic sci-fi characters that we've seen in every sci-fi fantasy adventure before, and you did nothing interesting with them. So, Zach, you the last one to talk right now, bro. After talking about it, like that's the fatigue that we're talking about. Formulas. That's what Zack gave us. He gave us a bunch of formula and he didn't even do it right. So, at the end of the day, I think when it comes to superhero fatigue, I don't believe in it. It's bad movie fatigue. And the last person that should be talking right now is Zack Snyder when it comes to any of this stuff. So, I don't think they're coming and knocking on your door just like you're not knocking on their door. They're saying, Snyder did that like the original IP piece. He did that with Rebel Moon. No, he didn't. No, he didn't at all, okay? It's getting torn to shreds by critics because he didn't give us something that has resonance and is cool. But I'm still hoping to see what the end of his vision looks like and that his vision is actually good, because that's what's happened with Zack Snyder before. We get some gobbledygook nonsense at the beginning, then he shows us the real version. I'm like, oh, this is fine. This is okay. Well, why didn't you give us this at the beginning? It's ridiculous, man. Anyway, folks, you guys let me know what you think about Zack Snyder. I think the guy, I mean, again, I like some of his work. He's 50-50 to me. I like some of his work, but some of his work is like, come on, Zack, you barking up the wrong tree with this one. Yeah, trying to call out superhero fatigue when you were part and parcel to that, just kind of makes me laugh. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.